Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be checking out the different types of sandboxes that you can create within Salesforce. There's 4 main copies of sandboxes that you can make, and I found this nice little graphic from S2 Labs that shows exactly what these 4 sandboxes are, their limitations, their strengths, and what they're mainly used for. There's some other great sources online that you can find graphics for as well, including on Focus on Force. If you're studying for your certification, they have a nice graphic, but this is really good one. We're going to go through and talk about each of the 4 different types of sandboxes. But before we do that, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment if you found this information useful. And we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So starting us off, the first sandbox we're going to look at is the developer sandbox. Now this one here has, you would say, probably the most limitations to it. It can be refreshed daily. No records are copied to the sandbox. So if you're in your production org and you're creating a sandbox, it will not copy any of the records over. And I know what we do at my work in a real world scenario is we use a lot of developer pro sandboxes for testing and development. We will actually run a report and then data load records in for testing, or we'll create dummy records if we need to, but they are not automatically created. Storage capacity is 200 megabytes. And they have kind of some built-in, like, what is this sandbox? What's it used for? Build-in testing, just like I said. It is great for that. Building flows, workflows, process builder. Maybe you're wanting to create a new object to see how it plays with other objects, and so forth. Take a look at the Developer Pro. It's exactly the same, except it has a greater storage capacity. So if you are needing to load a large amount of records in, like I said, running a report, maybe you're extracting, use data loader, and then you're going to data load into your sandbox, and you need a large set of records to test, the Developer Pro may be a good option. As I hear build test, need more storage than developer. That really is the only difference between developer and Developer Pro. And at my work, we mainly use developer sandboxes. We have more of them than the pros. Now, the partial copy has a little bit more flexibility here. You can only refresh it every 5 days, and it does copy records over. The storage capacity is 5 gigs, so since it is copying some of the records over, it has a larger storage capacity. I mean, it's going to copy a lot of records over. So you can do QA, UAT testing, training, integration testing. So just remember for your partial and full copies, though, since it is going to be copying records over, if you have someone outside working on your application, if there's any privacy concerns, HIPAA concerns, depends on if you're working in healthcare or not, these people will be seeing people's records, or whatever institution you're working at, they could see credit card data, personal information. With the developer and Developer Pro, the advantage of not having real records in there, you can create dummy ones, and an outside person outside of your organization will not be seeing users' private information. So let's keep that in mind. Partial copy, we personally don't use any of these at work. We typically we have a full copy, and then we use developer. But this is a great thing too, if your organization uses these. Now, the full copy, it is exactly like your production org, but it can only be refreshed once a month. It's 29 days, but just call it once a month. Records are copied. You can create sandboxes off of it, specifying the object. Storage capacity is equal to production org. So this is for your testing, load testing, and staging. So you can kind of think about how you're going to deploy new integrations or in process improvement, or maybe some new flows. You're going to build this in your developer sandbox, and then most of the time, you're going to set that into your full sandbox or your partial copy, but preferably into a full sandbox. And you're going to do load testing on it. You're going to see how it plays with the other objects, the other flows, if you're doing that. I mean, it's very popular right now. A lot of organizations are converting workflows to flows right now, just because workflows are kind of being aged out over time. This is the perfect place to do it. All your data is there. It's almost exactly like your production org. I mean, it is exactly like it. And what you'll do is you'll finish your testing in your full sandbox, and then you can deploy that into your production org, notify your users of any changes. And yeah, so that's looking at your 4 different types of sandboxes. If you found this information helpful, please smash the like button, leave a comment. Until the next video, peace.